Welcome to Albion TV presents the AO Daily Show, your source of real news in an unreal world. Keeping up to date on the latest news, events, and the great community of Albion Online. Today is Wednesday, the 26th of January, 2022. I am your host, the Shozen One, and joining me today, as always, the man with the plan. It's Bogul.
Hello.
Bogul, what is the plan?
Click a button. We do have an interview today, sir. We do have an interview with Angeliqq of Reject Party tonight. You spent some quality time twice with the good sir, and I haven't listened to it yet. I have to be honest. I don't know what's going to be in store. I'm looking forward to it though.
Okay. Yeah. It's not bad. We get to talk about Reject Party. I speak with Angeliqq, and we have spoken with him in the past, about a year ago. We also spoke with Popa, his GM, when they were in Reject Sanity. And this is the next stage of the Reject Party. And I thought it would be great to talk to him about Reject Party and One Done, where they came from, and how they got to where they are today. And it's a pretty good interview, and we will be giving out gold codes during it, so it's definitely worth sticking around for.
All right, exclamation mark raffle in chat. Your message may or no, it will get deleted, but don't worry, it counts for the raffle. That was the sound in the background. I'm sorry.
Nobody heard that. Nobody heard it.
Nobody heard. Good. Good. At least everybody's awake now. There we go. There we go. If you haven't seen Patch 4 is out today, good day. Check out the game. It's buzzing. It's interesting. But other than that, I don't think we have any other quick PSAs other than good luck on the raffles and enjoy the interview.
Yeah, I'm going to open the raffle in just a moment. It is not open yet, so all of you guys typing raffle in chat will have to retype raffle.
Baited. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. And there it is. Now
there it is. All right. Retype if you have typed it before. And can I click that button, Shozen?
You can absolutely click that button. Do enjoy the interview. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today, and I hope you enjoy this. Have a good day. Welcome to the Albion TV interview series. I am the Shozen One, and today I am joined by Angeliqq, the co-GM of Reject Party, member of the One Done Alliance. I've actually spoken with Angeliqq before in the past, a while ago, and I recently spoke with his other co-GM, Popa, right before the dissolution of their old guild, Reject Sanity, and the remaking of Reject Party. So before we get into the depth of this interview, I'd like to have Angeliqq, if you don't mind, maybe give us a short history, a TLDR, if you will, about who Angeliqq is before we go into what's happening with Reject Party.
Sure, Shozen. Thank you for the interview again. I started the game when the game was not even published, like the beta periods, and then when it published officially, then I gave a little bit of break, obviously, like most of the players did, because at start it was very life consuming. It wasn't easy as today. I think the real time period when I started involving with the ZVZs and everything else was around Tea Party side, and then when Tea Party's GM Machete was kind of going offline and AFK, I started leading Tea Party with Criers, and I had to start shot calling in that period.
Can you give us a quick indication of when Tea Party was? Because Tea Party is one of the original launch guilds, along with Money Guild and Say My Name and stuff. And Tea Party was very effective as part of the earliest alliance with Money Guild.
Yeah. So no, my Tea Party affiliation is a little later. My first affiliation was the Filthy Casuals. I was playing with the Filthy Casuals during beta and the launch. My Tea Party affiliation is, I think, either season 7 or 8. It shouldn't be 8. I think it's like season 7.
So you're talking pre-Queen, before the invasion season.
Of course, yeah, it's way before the invasion season. So we were playing with Money Guild, etc. It's like the GDL Alliance time, I can say, and 1PG, etc. Anyways, once Machete started being more offline, then we take the lead in Tea Party with his permission, obviously. And then when he decided to disband Tea Party, I already had a group of friends that wanted to follow me, so we've been in other of guilds. And in the end, we said, let's do our own guild, and we started Reject Party in end of season 9, I think. Which season was Elevate PoE main war, first war? Was it season?
The first one was right after. So you had the first seasons after the invasion season were the Blue Army taking over the continent, and they pushed everybody out. And then you saw, I would say, the PoE Blue Army merger, and it was really not very tight at the time. And then you saw the first coalition of Queen led by Elevate.
Yeah. So when that happened, Reject Party was founded, and we were playing with Elevate as a bomb squad. 2 seasons or a little more, we played on the side, and then at that period I was too much burned out because I was the founder of Reject Party with a group of friends, and I GM'd it, shot called it, and do most other things other than Logi, because Logi is not my business, and my brain doesn't work with economical things in the game. Popa was doing all the logistics for the guild, and after that period we had a couple of other GMs in very short durations, but Popa take the rightful GM of the guild and has led Reject Party till today, and she has been a super successful GM, and she's not like a puppet GM that is standing there and everyone else doing everything, but she's basically doing everything and doing a freaking good job leading the guild. What I do is mainly deciding on the, let's say, warfare and calling and helping her out. I'm not co-GM, I don't have co-GM title, but I can say I'm right hand, and like my decisions and what I want is 99% respected in the guild. So
well, we often talk about the situation with guild leadership and how difficult it is to have a singular guild leader. If you only have one person leading and doing everything, it can be a bit daunting, a bit overwhelming. And so you have one person who takes care of logistics often, and the day-to-day running of the guild, the making sure people are properly signed up for the guild and know everything they need to know, are there for CTAs, have a proper regear system, everybody knows how they donate, how they get their status in the guild, punishments when they need to occur. But then you have that other side that you were talking about that it sounds like you take care of, which is the war aspect. The who are we fighting? When are we fighting? Who are we allying with? What areas do we attack? How many people do we need to bring to what objective? How do we get them into the objective? How do you build the comp for our ZVZ teams? So you need to have multiple people involved in aspects of leadership because there's just so much to do at this point.
Yeah, 100% agree. Like, it was easier at the start, I can say, because we were messing like 15-20 when we were bomb squatting. But then since when the seasons progressed, the numbers grew, the core member grew also. And once you start messing multiple parties and start being a medium to large group of ZVZ players, then you need to divide a lot of stuff. Luckily in Reject Party, we have a group of leadership that are doing their job. We have logistics team, obviously. We have recruiters. We have head of recruiter. We have head of logistics. We have a bunch of shot callers that I can easily say that prove themselves on the field. So it's going great, I'd say. I mean, obviously, all of us are burning out, but it's a part that we choose to do. So we're just doing it voluntarily. So if we burn out, we give a break and come back again. But we are lucky to have, especially on the shot caller side, we are lucky to have Vegora, we are lucky to have MonJP, we are lucky to have Jackie, and all from different countries. We have also the NA squad with MonJP, obviously. So Reject Party is an international guild with a bunch of people from all over the world that are together for one reason, just to play the game and have fun.
Do you want to go over that a little bit and the makeup of your guild? Because I know some of these names are rather new to Reject Party. I mean, I know the story of how, Reject Sanity was a combination of Reject Party and Madness, and then you kind of separated back to your original ones after, I guess, you guys left PoE. But let's focus a little bit on who this group is, because you said you're international, that you brought in some new names. Do you want to talk about some of those names and how that part came to be?
Sure, super short, since we mentioned Reject Sanity Part 2. So what we did before Season 13, like the Reject Sanity term, we have been already allied with Madness for almost 1.5 season. And then we decided to, as Reject Party, we decided to push Crystal. And then Madness said they wanted to. So we decided to make a 1-season project. That's why we don't use disband for Reject Sanity, because it was already its term of life was 1 season, and we made it like that. So we unite in one guild, made a new guild for it called Reject Sanity. Sanity comes from the Madness part, obviously, like the name meme. And that was a very, very successful season for us. And once the season was done, our objective was Crystal, we went rank 3. Beautiful, we get it. And then we just split our ways and made turn back to our old guilds. And we still allies with them, playing with Madness. So that's the part. So where all these people came from, none of them came from Madness, first of all, I can say. So we're not like a...
You're not going to be poaching your neighbors, is what you're saying.
No.
You guys have been, like you said, you guys have been working together for a very long time, and I believe I've heard you guys described as a singular guild split into 2 guilds.
I mean, that's what we tried to achieve, especially after Reject Sanity was success. But it's still, you can't 100% do it, because they would have their callers unless I or someone else calling for the main alliance. And they will have their own regear system. They will have their own Zerg composition. So I can't really say it's one guild, because for a guild to be successful, they need their own Shotcallers, own ZVZ composition, etc. But yeah, we're 2 very, very close, friendly guilds that I don't think we will split, other than completely disbanding one of the guilds. So where did these people come from? So Vegora was a good friend of ours. He was actually enemy of us during the Season 13 war. He was in Pandolino, and once Pandolino disbanded, since he was very close friend with us, and before that even he was our ally in Glupio, so he just joined Reject Party, and then started helping calling, and then even main calling for the guild. Where did MonJP came from is after the Season 13, and during the Energy Surge season, we allied with UK Uprising Kings, and it's once MonJP decided to disband his guild and let his players choose freely wherever they want to go, and he chose to come join Reject Party and do NA group for us, because we have NA players, I'd say 20-25 people, but I can't really shot call for NA, it's too late for me. And he can, he's prime NA, so he came, and a bunch of people followed him too, and then we now have around 50-60 NA mass, and MonJP calling them and getting them the victory.
So you have 50-60 for NA. What are you guys pulling for EU? Because I've seen you guys do pretty good lately.
I'd say average 80, and in good days around maybe 90-100. The last reset we had around 135-136 as the Reject Party.
As just Reject Party, not as one done.
No, it's just Reject Party.
Okay. And what do you guys pull as one done? Because I see you guys out there every day at 18 UTC fighting every single day. What are you guys pulling on an average 18 UTC time slot?
If we go fully average, let's say Reject Party pulls out 80-90, and then Madness pulls 50-60. So it's 150, 160 max, maybe 140, 150. So that's our average.
And that's enough to pretty much fight against any force in the game right now.
Yes. Any force, yes. Any force with friends, still sometimes fun, but if it comes a lot of friends, then it takes the fun aspect of it away.
Yeah, once somebody starts bringing 300 people to a party, it can be very daunting,
Sure.
even if you have 150.
Yep.
And I understand that's kind of what's going on with you guys now, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's continue with how you guys got to where you are now, because, like you said, you guys left Reject Sanity, recreated One Done, and when you did that, you guys kind of left PoE, and you did this before the Energy Surge season even, and were one of the first guilds to leave the PoE coalition.
True. So Syndic knew already during season 13 that Reject Sanity will be disbanded, and we would go back to our respected guilds, and we will play Reject Party and Madness, and we will play most likely Red is Dead. So it wasn't a surprise for him, or it wasn't like a backstabbing or jumping down from a sinking ship or anything like that, because most of the guilds that left PoE left in very bad terms, either when they were fighting and losing, etc. And we didn't do that. Like, we did it once season 13 war was won, it was peaceful, there was nothing to fight, no content, and then the season was coming to an end, so we break our ways and said we are going Red is Dead. We don't want to be a part of these type of mega wars. And it was that type of a split. It wasn't like we're dying, we have to leave type of thing, because we had that option during season 13. We got offered we got offered rank 1 to drop the war. We got offered a lot of stuff to not gonna use the word backstab, but just to pull out of the war, but eventually it's backstabbing your allies anyways.
Well, you're saying that PoE was relying on you at the time, and if you were to even leave, it would have put them into a precarious situation where they would have been outgunned.
I mean, I'm not gonna say they were heavily relying on us, because they had BA, right? You can't underestimate their power, manpower or the quality, etc. But I can easily say Reject Sanity was one of the very good Zergs during season 13, and if we weren't there, I don't know what would be the outcome of the fight. I don't know. I'm not gonna make assumptions of something that I don't know, but it would probably make life way easier for the anti-PoE coalition at that time. And when we got offered all of these, the sink was already the ship was already almost sinking. All the fights, battle boards were bad, objectives were getting lost, but we didn't do that at that time. So once the war was won, we said thank you, and then we split.
Nobody likes to be that rat on a sinking ship and the first ones to flee. It will that rat label sticks a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that to myself. Yeah. I can't do that to myself. I can't do that to my guild. I don't care. We even that time said to the respected leaders of the anti-PoE coalition, because I don't think anyone will deny. I said if we die, and if my guild will die, and if we can't reach even Crystal, it's fine. But I'm not gonna rat or turn back on my allies at that time. But since that season, since season 13, end of it, we just closed Reject Sanity, we turned back to our guilds, and then we said, okay, that was a huge hassle during the whole season. We did 06, 12, 18, and 00, we did all-timers and burned out players, and now we give them what they want. We give them as much content as possible. No more red allies, because playing with red allies is super cancerous. Always drama happens, doesn't matter which alliance you're in or which coalition you're in. So no more red allies. We go Red is Dead. We play solo. It's going to be super hard life, but we have right now the economical background to back that solo life, and let's go. So since season 13, including Energy Surge season plus this season, we've been playing Red is Dead, no allies, no coalition. I mean, of course we have our alliance, and we're just playing Red is Dead, zero politics. We don't care about who is doing what, which war is being won, which war is being lost, and just doing their own content.
Okay. Since you're taking this position, do you want to talk a little bit about how this works in your guild, how you guys function like this, and is this the entire mantra for your guild of Red is Dead solo gameplay? And I use that tongue-in-cheek because you are part of an alliance.
Well, like, yes, we are part of an alliance with Madness, and like Madness has shared the same opinion with us. They want to play red instead, and the only allies you will have will be purples. And like, we never had like a massive alliance. We are with Madness, like size right now for an alliance that is fighting in the end game. And during that, we had obviously Byla. We can talk about it in a minute. But yeah, we're playing Red is Dead. We don't care about territories. We don't care about hideouts. We don't care about who we attacking. If there's content, we fight. Like, we started from Fort Sterling. We were east of Fort Sterling during energy search season. And we kept a couple of territories, because when you kept territories and place hideouts, it just, starts drama and content. So most of energy search season, we fought Nope, we fought PoE, we fought China, like Banana at 18 unit time slot. We fought once or twice Surf, and we fought Rank like almost every single day. And during all these energy search season, like, whoever was our enemy at that particular time slot said that we are handholding with their opposition. So it was quite funny for all of us. Like, I'm sometimes logging in the trash talk because like I just dislike it. I don't know. I'm too old for it. But like, TT leaks, and then I'm seeing that we handhold at 15 with one Zerg, 18 with another, 21 with another, and it's crazy. So I guess it's the life of playing solo, because whoever you attack, they would like say that you're with their enemy. But if someone sits down and makes statistics of the search season, I'm pretty sure like Wandan was one of the main content for PoE and Nope. Like, they destroyed 2 of our hideouts. We destroyed 3 of their hideouts in like Nope lands, etc. It's like pure content for all of us. And I guess we got blamed a lot with napping with PoE, being with PoE, because we are holding those lands because PoE allows us, etc., etc. Anyways, then end of energy search season, we said, okay, let's like look for new content, because probably all these zones will be cancerous, because the anti-PoE coalition is starting. Everywhere will be war. And let's go look for something else. And then we went to north of Fort Sterling and starting getting some lands and making some fights. And then Bela, all the way north of Fort Sterling, were getting pushed. Like, they were fighting with War Gods, and then War Gods, I guess, summoned Surf and Six during that time, and Bela was getting heavily outnumbered, and we were just third-partying those fights. And when you see like 300 people on the other side and 100 in the other, like, the logical Shotcaller will just hit the 300 man, because if you wipe the smaller group, then you're gonna get surrounded. So we were hitting the crowded group. During that time, Marka Beach from Bela GM, or Shotcaller, like, asked if like we can do some stuff with Wandan and if they can join, and then they joined Wandan. And then Bela evac, like Wandan, but like mainly Bela evac War Gods from north of Fort Sterling. And then it started being like, we fought Frag like 4 or 5 times. That was all on AlbionTV, and we won most of it. And then Frag disbanded, like split, and there was no content there. So we said, okay, like, we started this for content and it's boring here, let's go. So we moved to Thetford, and from Thetford we started coming to the middle zones, and then it was again War Gods, but then this time they started like a very big big alliance with GDL, like all Russian players, super good, high tier gear, a lot of money, and like Bela wanted to push that side for more content, so we were launching on them, fighting, etc. Then we had some drama, I'll say misunderstandings.
These happen.
Yeah, happens with Arca about content. Like, he wanted content somewhere else, we had content somewhere else. He got mad, understandable, because we are spending a lot of time in the game, so maybe it was a bad day for him, and he split his ways. And now joined Girls Alliance. Now they're named Trap, so it's new. Maybe they did it yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, they've changed it again. I was just getting used to the girls, and now they're Traps.
Yeah. So we stayed with Madness, obviously, and then there was already a kind of content war started with GDL, like War Gods Alliance. So that one keeps going on, and I can say that they're right now on the winning edge of it, because They pushed it all the way to Avalanche Incline side. Well, I can't say they pushed it all solo, but they pushed it somehow with some helps or like friendly third parties or whatnot. They're just winning their objectives, although we win on the battle boards most of the time. So long as it's good content, anyways, like we're gonna stay around Tedford and keep fighting. Doesn't matter, like whatever comes, whoever comes. If it's fun, we're gonna take it. If it's like not logical type of content, like boring content, then we will just look for some more content fights somewhere else. Like we are not bounded with any type of lands in Albion, and that's why it's super easy for us to just move around and look for content.
Okay. Well, I am currently over in Death Whip Sync here, and it seems like you guys are putting up a hideout. We were just talking the other day, and it sounded like you weren't really interested in hideouts, but now it seems like you are. And I've heard rumors that you're about to grow your alliance even.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, of course, we're not like we don't care about hideouts, but the hideouts are the war material that helps you regear, right? So you need hideouts to have like the advantage of hideout is regears for us. So yeah, you place some hideouts in the strategical locations so you can regear faster to the fight, and like enemy will try to cut your regears to win the fight. So that's why obviously we are using hideouts, and like if one gets knocked down, then we place another one. It's just 10 million, 15 million worth of investment, and like imagine dying 100, 150 man Zerg for a hideout. It's illogical. You know, you shouldn't do that because your gear, like 10 man gear, costs more than the hideout price itself. So yeah, of course we're gonna use hideouts. We're gonna place hideouts if we see them fit for regearing and finding content. And about the alliance thingy, Mer should be joined and one done once their cooldown is down. That's why in last couple of days, like 2-3 days, they have been around our objective zones because right now they have alliance cooldown. That's why they were the only red people around us that we didn't attack. But like it's because they're just gonna join the alliance. We decided it once Bela left, and then we've seen that like GDL plus sometimes the IR come in and fighting with us. Like we are getting outnumbered even in a 3-way fight. So it was logical for us to even the numbers so the fights can be more fun.
And M3R actually, I believe, has worked in the past with Uprising King, which was led by Mon JP, who's now one of your shot callers. So you have an existing relationship with them.
True.
So this leads to a much easier alliance. And you're saying you're doing this because you need to be able to deal with the rising numbers in your areas against both Dior, who I'm going to say they probably bring about the same as you guys, but they are easily the best pound-for-pound ZVZ force we currently have in the game. And then you have your other opponents who are just bringing numbers over there. They are, we've seen them over the last few days really, really picking up their game. They just have a lot of guys right now over there.
Like the GDL Alliance, not really heavy on numbers at 21 UTC. I can say they mass as much as we do.
Okay.
Although it's not their prime time.
Yeah, I see them at 18. They're like just
18. They
they're
just
flooding.
Outnumber us like super hard. Like Dior, like we all, at least we all want to believe that they're coming here for third party, and then respecting us. That's why most of the time prioritizing to hit us. I assume that's the case, and of course Dior is right now the most talented alliance. Like I don't know, Elevate anyways have been like always one of the top-notch Zergs in the game since the day they started playing here, like under the tag of Elevate. And like escalation players are all kind of like very experienced bangers from different guilds that united under Dal, and Dal is one of the most experienced shot callers. So of course, like their success is not a surprise. Like it shouldn't surprise anyone that knows the game or knows the Zergs or players. So, and one day third party, it actually matters a lot. Of course, like for us or for whoever they third party, because they're gonna deal damage, and you have to somehow take care of them first before anything else, because they are the top threat when they're on the zone. And like lately, they've been third partying. I think this is 4th day in a row that they've been third partying us. Unfortunately,
Oh, so they're still okay, because I saw them the last time we had a war report. I saw them attack you guys, and this was the beginning of what's going on here. And now you're saying that 4 days in a row now,
Yep.
they have been third partying you, and they're going after you guys first.
I mean, maybe if you ask a GDL Shotcaller, they're gonna say no, they are coming after us. But what happens in the end, like the results more important for me. Like I don't care who they're going for, but we keep fighting them. And GDL zones out of the zone. We keep fighting Dior. GDL goes, captaries, and starts backing hideouts, and we keep fighting because So in the result, I'm losing all the objectives.
Yeah, you're losing your objectives because you're fighting a superior force, and even if you win the fight, it's going to take you so long because Dior is so good that you're just not going to be able to get to the rest of your objectives. I'll ask Dell about that next week when I interview him and see what his thoughts are on this, because I find this very interesting. There is so much noise in the world of Albion with Dior and them putting pressure on other groups to continue the fight against PoE. Yet, from what I'm hearing from a number of different sources is that that's not necessarily where they're putting their efforts. If they want other people to attack PoE with them, they really need to start attacking PoE rather than attacking all the other smaller entities. That feels very much like what caused players to form that initial coalition in the first place against PoE was an overwhelming force that came in and nobody could deal with it one-on-one. And now we're seeing, at least in your experience, getting the same kind of treatment from Dior as Dior complains about from PoE.
I mean, like, I'm trying to be objective here. It's like them coming is just destroying our objective 100%. Destroying our fun, I don't know. Like, I can say 50% because it's fun fighting them, so I enjoy it. But for regular member mentality, some members might care about objectives, so them losing the objectives might just hurt their feelings. I don't know. But if I would be a Dior member or Dior Shotcaller, then obviously they can just say their Zerg, like, we're going there for content, and we're having, like, everyone's responsible for their own guilds or alliance success and fun. So they don't need to care about my feelings or my guild's feelings. It's understandable for them. So they're just coming, having their content, and leaving. And if they can't take content, then they launch your Terry. And if you don't show, then they hit your hideout to force you to content. I don't know if it's a healthy way to force it, but does it force you to fight? Maybe. But if you don't fight, they just whack the hideout and go, and then what? And who you gonna fight? Like, if everyone just runs away from you. So we are trying to, when it's reasonable, we are trying to fight and give content to whoever comes. So I guess it's like the game is all about that, like we need to do it. But like, I don't know. It's you can't obviously prove hidden agendas. I don't want to believe that there are hidden agendas about like third partying 4 days in a row and you guys were on the show at the reset day.
Yes.
Like we wiped GDL, like Dior zoned, escalation zoned. We fought escalation. We were outnumbering them because GDL dipped, and like we fought and we killed Tal and their Shotcallers, so escalation left, and then GDL regeared and zoned in, but we were just getting pounded from Zerg to Zerg, and then we were fighting GDL again and winning the exchanges, and then full elevate side of Dior zoned in, and I said like, okay boys, mount up, we're leaving, like it's okay.
That's too much, yeah.
Obviously we lost like the Terry. Once you lose the Terry, they place their hideouts and stuff, and then it's like a major objective loss. But did we have fun? It was one of the most banger reset days we had. Like, it was super fun.
One thing I can say here about you guys fighting against Dior on the daily basis is that iron sharpens iron. The stronger your opponent that you face, the better you're going to get over time. And there are a lot of lessons to be learned by watching those VODs and reviewing them of those ZVZs and learning from what Dior is doing. They are much heavier on the support players than any other Zerg that I see out there right now, and their DPS is much tighter, and they have more waves. Smaller waves, but more of them. So instead of sending 15 people with DPS at once and just blowing all their cooldowns at once, they'll send 3 waves of 5.
Yeah, that's kind of the new meta is like consistent harassing with the bridals and cestuses, etc. It's like not only Dior doing it, like most other guilds are doing it too. It's the shift.
Okay.
It's the shift in the meta, and I believe that when the next patch hits, it's even gonna be tougher to deal with. I guess of course we have our solutions, planned and scheduled, but yeah, that's like the small 3-4 man groups that are hitting the damage is gonna be the new meta. But like about Dior and the like Zerg composition, etc. Like we are doing a lot of statistics about the top-notch Zergs and their compositions. Like they're not really playing super support heavy compared to how we play, but it's not about. It's more about the players' experience and the players that have been playing with each other forever. Like the Elevate core has been playing with each other since season 9, and like they don't really have a super huge change in their rooster. So the more people play with each other, the better they synchronize, and and their callers are same other than Mamano. Lost calling for their bomb squad and Tamashi, and I guess they recruited Nico lately. I don't know if he's calling for them or not. So like obviously they're gonna deal damage. They dealt damage. They've been one of the top-notch Zergs since season 9, and they're still secure in their position. So it's of course respected, and yeah, we keep fighting them. And as you said, iron sharpens iron. Like most of my players are super happy about it, and we are enjoying the fight. And I guess it's good training for us. And if it wouldn't be good training for them, I guess they wouldn't have come. So
no, I mean it's a huge sign of respect if the best ZVZ force in the game is coming to you for content, not for objectives, but for content. You're where they're going for a good fight.
I hope it's the case.
Is there anything else you'd like to cover in our interview today?
Well, not really. Like, I guess you ask the questions and I give the honest answers from my perspective, at least.
Do you want to do any recruiting or shout out any of your top tier players? Mention anybody out there who you think is doing a great job, or
sure,
I don't know, talk about an aspect of the game that you really love or hate.
Like, I don't want to do recruitment. Like, if people want to get recruited, they apply. Like, I'm not gonna advertise my guild or ask people to come join Reject Party or anything. Like, just go join wherever you're gonna have fun playing. And for shout out, I have a lot of special people to shout out. So if I start shout out at them, it's gonna take a lot of time. I guess it's better to shout out like overall to Albion players that grind daily base, from our top-notch enemies to the best friends. Like if people wasn't playing the game, and the game wouldn't be the same. So just shout out to all Albion players, all Albion guilds, all Albion Shotcallers, GMs, and like from yellow zone to high-end black zone. Like if you guys weren't here, there wouldn't be the game. So just keep grinding, keep playing. Let's have a fun experience and fun time, and a good, healthy community, hopefully.
All right, that sounds great. Well, thank you very much, Angeliqq, for taking the time to meet with me today. I really appreciate it, and it was a fantastic interview. I look forward to watching you guys battle against Dior on a daily basis, because it's been entertaining. And we'll see how things go in the future and where you end up. I look forward to speaking with you guys again soon.
Sure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Anytime. Have a good night.
You too.